Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. This is podcast number 14. I am Sir Felix the Cat, and with me as always, I have Hawk. How's it going?
It's going great. How's it going for you?
I mean, wonderful. My beak's not falling off, so I'm good.
Yeah, I've got every strain of herpes known to every animal.
So, to start off, if I move my screen, is it going to mess with me? No. Okay, let's do this. Let's get into some news. So the first thing I want to talk about is something I saw right before I got on, and I was super excited about that. I mean, I'm too old to really listen to this, like Disney songs, but Disney confirmed artist and full track list for their official pop punk covers album.
Okay.
And yeah, I saw Newfound Glory, and I was like, okay, that's awesome. But they have a decent like early 2000s lineup here. I mean, Magnolia Park is pretty new, but it's Simple Plan, Magnolia Park, Yellow Card, Bowling for Soup. I don't know who LOLO is.
No idea.
Meet Me at the Altar, Mayday Parade, and Newfound Glory. And I was like, that's a good, that's a good like early 2000s lineup. I like it.
Oh yeah, dude. And Newfound Glory has been already doing Disney songs for like what, a decade now.
Yeah. Let it go. Yeah, here's all they have. Yellow Card is doing A Whole New World, which is, I think they could pull that off. But Remember Me from Coco is Mayday Parade. I've never watched Coco, so I hope it's good.
Hopefully.
Magnolia Park is doing something from Goofy Movie, which suits them. Have you ever heard of them? Magnolia Park?
I've heard of them, but I couldn't tell you anything about them or even identify any of their songs.
Yeah, check them out. I like them. They're not bad.
Okay.
We the Kings from Hercules Go the Distance.
Plain
you got your favorite band. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Meet Me at the Altar. You Got a Friend in Me. Boys Like Girls, which I didn't know they were still around. They're doing a song.
Dude. Oh, and Tokyo Hotel too.
I've heard of them. I've never listened to them. And then again, LOLO. And then Bowling for Soup.
Dude, Tokyo Hotel.
They're doing A Friend Like Me.
Like I've never heard of Lolo. Bowling for Soup I think is all right. Boys Like Girls had like 2 songs I like. Tokyo Hotel sucks, but they sounded okay, I guess, for the early 2000s. Like, my opinion, they suck. Plain White Tees, if you like them, I don't understand you. We the Kings. I used to listen to We the Kings. They've been going strong since the early 2000s, dude. Like, did you know that?
Yeah.
They never stepped away. They just kept making stuff, but they just disappeared, I guess, for most people. But
that's like Bowling for Soup, because they never stopped. They went country a little bit.
Oh God.
Which was an interesting choice. But they've been doing stuff like they at least lead singer was on a song with Mest on their newest album.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. This is a cool lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just wish it was like at least 10 years ago, not 20.
Yeah. Probably would have done better.
Yeah. All right, so here's some fun stuff. Gamers are review bombing Modern Warfare Remastered because Activision killed a highly anticipated mod, which was going to make the multiplayer good.
Okay. I mean, I think that's impossible, but what were they going to do?
The mod was set to come out like a day or two after Activision decided to kill it. They knew about it for months probably because they were seeing an uptick in sales for the game. And then suddenly, get rid of it.
That's dirty, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so they deserve all the hate. I mean,
it's Activision.
It's what, yeah. It's the Activision Blizzard company, and that's what they're best at, getting hate.
They haven't made a new game in like 20 years. And I mean, like the remake? Or no, not a remake, a re-envisioning, let's say, of the first Modern Warfare was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It was a pretty cool game. It had some really cool levels. It was memeing too much. Some of the story was kind of dumb, but overall it was pretty cool. The Modern Warfare remaster, I was never a big player of Modern Warfare 1, so I never did multiplayer. I just played the campaign on the remaster. but Modern Warfare 2 was my thing for years, for multiplayer and single player. And it sucks now. It sucked then looking back. And I don't think there's anything we could have ever done to fix this, but it's a shame that someone tried and then they were killed.
Yeah. Yep. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see people are reacting to it properly. It's the one time I don't mind hate being issued, especially when it's at a company for something they did that is just disgusting.
Yeah, that's righteous fury at that point. Like,
yeah. All right, so let's go on to something fun as well. Random. Nintendo Life says that Bull Air's range from Nintendo-inspired sneakers is extremely cool.
Ooh.
Which they are pretty awesome. I must admit.
Okay, so like Nike, I think if you spend like $150 on a pair of shoes that you're never gonna wear, it's kind of weird to me, but I can get the collector thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Nike's. I'd be wearing these too, yeah. Especially the shoe boy color, dude. Like I would spend $150, $180, $200 on these, and I would absolutely be wearing them and destroying them over the course of like 3 or 4 years, like I do with shoes. But those are dope. I don't like Nikes, but these are really cool.
Yeah, apparently they've been on like some Nintendo kick for a while. They have the Famicom, a take on Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay. The Game Boy Color and the regular Game Boy, like the old OG Game Boy ones, those are the best in my opinion.
But there's the number for you.
Oh,
they just dropped yesterday.
Whoa, and they're already gone, I bet.
Oh yeah, 100%, they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the money, sure, I'd do it. But
yep, that's a fun one. Now let's get on to related to Activision. Let's talk about Microsoft. So there's this game called Hack, and I'll show that in a second. But they had to post, like the creators of it had to post apology to Xbox players, like Xbox fans, because they've been trying to get it onto Xbox, but the process of getting our game onto Xbox, we encountered numerous obstacles. What seemed to be a simple procedure turned into a nightmare due to many bugs in the Microsoft Partner Center, preventing us from successfully completing account registration. Microsoft support service system had bugs, making it impossible to initiate inquiries about the issue. They tried ID at Xbox about it. Nothing was able to happen. And so they're basically having to say, like, we worked on this. We spent 14 months trying to get this like on there and everything. We can't do it. We apologize.
Wow, dude.
And it's one of those games that would get quite a bit of attention. So it's a Metroidvania type game.
Okay.
Let's play again. It's pretty cool. I decided to pick it up on Switch because I saw it was there after reading that article, and yeah, it's a dope little game. I highly approve of it. I wouldn't suggest buying it on Switch because it is more expensive, and I've seen some like not slow down but like stutters, which is concerning in that kind of game.
Yeah.
But, and it's also like $1 cheaper on Steam.
And eventually, if you wait a while, it'll be like $5 at some point.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool little cyberpunk-esque sci-fi horror Metroidvania.
So this is just more evidence to me that validating what we already know, that Xbox in particular just doesn't like games.
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of announced it lightly a while back. They are basically solely dedicated to their first-party AAA studios.
Yep,
that's their focus.
Mm-hmm. And
so you got Activision, you got Blizzard, you got Bethesda,
343.
Yeah, like all the ones under Bethesda, I'd say, cause like Machine Games and all them.
Yeah, and don't they? Did they buy Bethesda or did they buy what is it? ZeniMax. I think it's
ZeniMax, but then they kind of like separated the two.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, so Bethesda is their own thing.
So what's ZeniMax doing? Oh, they do Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, and publishing and stuff. But I think something happened to them recently too. I think I remember reading something on that. I could be wrong.
God, dude. Man.
Yep.
Well, Xbox at this point sucks, and this is coming from someone who was primarily an Xbox player through most of my life. The 360 in particular. I've always had an Xbox. Sometimes I had both the PlayStation and Xbox, depending on the generation. But the 360 was like, it still is, in my opinion, the best console ever made. Not in terms of performance, but like in terms of the amount of games offered, the cool arcade and indie stuff that they had going on there, which was new. Like other people weren't doing that at that time.
Their indie section was the reason why that definitely beat the PS3 in that series. Besides, I don't know who outsold who, but just in that essence for quantity of games and the fact that they brought new people in, they were letting newbies actually get in on this.
Yeah. And a lot of like pretty decent AA studios at this point started there. They started with Xbox money. So I think Spiders started there. What Spiders Studios or whatever they made weird RPGs.
Yeah, they did Greedfall.
Yeah, they did Greedfall, which was their best one so far. They did that Mars Warlogs one that like some people like. It was clunky as hell, but it was good. But I loved the Xbox, so it's a shame to me to see them fall this far. Which I'll stand by it. It started with the Xbox One. That's where it started.
Yep. And then I mean they don't help themselves either. It was like the other week when they came out and delayed Avowed, because there's too many games coming out and they want players to have time to digest their backlog. And it's like, what are you talking about? You guys haven't released anything.
What backlog, dude? What?
It's a backlog from years ago on the 360. You got to get caught up because the store closed down.
Yeah, dude, backlog? What are we talking like deep games like Halo Infinite?
Yeah, you got to beat it.
Oh God, no, I'm done. I'm done with them.
Let's move on to another company we could just hate on, which we already talked about once, but let's talk about something bad. So Disney's going to get sued, which
good.
From at least this take, I got to look more into it. It sounds very much deserved, and I really hope this guy wins. So Bo DeMeo is the creator of X-Men 97, which has been a just super huge hit on Disney Plus. Fans just love it. It's a really good cartoon. I only watched maybe 6 episodes or something like that, but it is quite awesome. I like what they did. It feels like it's the old one just continuing on.
I'm coming around to X-Men. I started watching the movies again, so I'll get to it.
Yeah, definitely got to get to that.
I will.
But yeah, Disney is gaslighting and planting illegal, unconscionable. Yeah, that items in contracts. Basically, they're finding a way to then claim that the person, something behavior,
egregious
misconduct. Yeah, it was sexual misconduct for him. But there's a word I'm looking for, and I know it's in here.
Egregious?
I don't think it's egregious. Maybe they don't. I'm just making up stuff. Maybe there is no word I'm looking for. But yeah, misconduct.
So they're saying that he did some sex pest stuff?
Yeah. And they removed his name from the credits in season 2 because oh yeah, it is egregious. They before they would release 1, they made sure that season 2 was done.
Okay.
So he created season 2, and then it was like after that they were like right before season 1 dropped, like, hey, by the way, you're fired.
And so, like, do we know for sure that he didn't do this stuff?
I mean, his lawyer is pretty sure that he didn't. Because I mean, Disney was also making it public that they fired him for sexual misconduct and all that.
That's like akin to murder. You're done.
Yeah. But his lawyer seems to be pretty good because he does take on pretty big names. So his clients have been Megyn Kelly, which I don't know what her lawsuit was, but it's probably something fun. Gabrielle Union, Michael Jackson's estate, and Chris Harrison, whoever Chris Harrison is. But at least 2 of those names I do know.
Yeah. Yeah, too many Chris's that are famous, by the way.
Yeah.
There's-
Yep.
But I mean, if he didn't do this, and Disney is doing what companies do and just finding a reason to exploit a worker and then can them and take their stuff and profit off of it without giving any money, like they do all the time, then that's horrific. And I hope he wins his case. If he did do the stuff that they're alleging, then I mean, he could just go into a hole and disappear for eternity for all I care, because there's no room for sex pests in society.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I haven't fully checked into it, but if it's as fake as Brian Friedman says it is, then yeah, that's gonna be bad.
Gwen asks if it was a work for hire. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Disney would do like contractual stuff, or are you like a contractor, or do you do hourly? You know, was he at an at-will state?
This doesn't say anything. This is the official statement by the lawyer.
Because I mean, if he's in an at-will state, like all Disney has to do is just like, you know, bump a couple elbows and be like, yeah, you know, we fired him for some quote legitimate reason, which would be sexual misconduct, and then he has no case. That's true.
Yeah, they don't say where this is taking place at all.
There's questions here. I want to look into it. I want to follow it.
Yep. Now let's get on to some sad news. So this happened last month, but I just saw it the other day.
Oh.
So yes, pyramids in Mexico are collapsing due to what's that called? Why am I bad with words? Global warming. There we go. Yeah, climate change, global warming. Those two.
Dude. Oh yeah, they're expanding and contract. It's like too hot or too cold. Like it's.
Yep.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. There's the one view. I like this view better. You can see it's
God.
Yeah, it's done for.
Dude. Well, you know what? Okay. There's two things that come to mind right away with this. Well, three things. First of all, the last guy's name, the dude's name from the last article that we read was just kind of interesting to me. I just wanted to point that out. It's funny. Two, the bad part about this is the pyramids that are exposed are probably going to fall apart, which is terrible, dude. That's like an atrocity, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But also, on the other hand, there's entire cities that we haven't found yet that are buried in the jungle, and they'll probably be okay.
Yeah, they're protected to an extent.
Probably. Do you think they'll like stay together? I mean, they have like thousands of pounds of dirt on them and stuff, so.
Yeah, they should be fine, I would assume. I mean, from all the Uncharted I've played, they're going to be great.
Well, I mean, is this a coastal city here, or
this is in the near where's the name of the town? It starts with an I. Located at.
Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to try that.
Yep, that's why I didn't say it. But the cool thing about this, like historically, is so the people. It's not the people who built this, but the people who moved in like years after the other people left. They were the only civilization that the Aztecs could not conquer.
Oh,
yeah. So it's very historical,
dude.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a. Wait, no. Sorry, it's not a coastal city. I think it's in Michoacan. What is it, province or state or whatever? It's not on the coast, because I was thinking like this is probably just all going to be gone in a couple decades. But no, it's still terrible. I hope that we do like. I know in some of the ancient ziggurats in like Iraq and stuff like that, they've been doing some reconstruction stuff where they have the general idea of what the structure would have looked like, but it's been eroded over like 6,000 years. So they're starting to build off of what's there still, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that with these and like cement them this time or something, you know?
Yeah.
But if we can't do that, that's because maybe if you start messing with this, it'll just destroy the whole structure. I don't know, but that's terrible, dude.
Yep, it's great times. And then more sad news. The original Pokemon movie actor behind Misty and Jessie, Rachel Lillis, has died. She was battling cancer at the age of 55 and sadly succumbed.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. She did a bunch of like video game voicing as well in like a bunch of anime games.
Damn, man.
Yep. Sad
That's
times.
rough. Yeah, cancer is horrific. Um, that's always sad, and especially someone as prolific as this. Like, I think everyone, at least in the millennial age range, knows her name. Probably everyone within a couple generations age range knows her, or not her name, but her voice, at least. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that sucks, but yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we could kind of end that on a semi good note because I found it's not gaming, or it is nerdy, but it's not gaming related or anything. That there's been a research firm trying to figure out why our cells die. So like why we age, why we eventually die. Our cells don't become like, we don't get less cells, we don't have problems with cells like that. It's just that they're less capable of retaining the genetic information that you already have in your body. They figured this out. That's a huge breakthrough. Okay.
Yeah.
They also just had a breakthrough where they're figuring out how to rejuvenate those cells. They said they've done it in plants, they've done it in small rodents, they've done it in a bunch of living things all over the spectrum, and it works every time with anything. So it's going to go to human trials, and then you're looking at a cure for cancers at that point. Like that's huge.
Yeah.
Multiple cancers.
Yeah. Would you be de-aged?
So I don't know. Like it says, they roll back your internal clock by like 50% effectively. So I don't think you would like go from an old pogey to like, you know, like a 30-year-old or 40-year-old. I think you would still look old, but you would have way, way less health problems, and you'd probably be able to, it's like Star Trek where you get to live to like 150.
Yeah.
I think that's what it would be.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe. I don't know. That's
yeah,
a long time.
living that long without the health issues, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But we're pores, so I don't think we're going to get that.
Yep, it's just not in the bucket. Anyway, so let's talk about fairy tales and their effect on society.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fairy tales are, I mean, we should all know at least one or two fairy tales, I would kind of hope.
Hopefully, I don't know.
They're basically viewed as like kids' books, or a story you would tell to your kids, like a bedtime story or something like that. But they have a bigger impact on society than just something you read to your kids. They teach you morals. They teach you basically to not be a trash person. That's the best way to look at it. Like Bambi, when in there, who is it, the mom rabbit or is the kid rabbit repeating his mom? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
I forget who said it, but yeah, I mean, everybody knows that one.
Yeah, I think it's Thumper saying it because his mom says it, something like that.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, like it's a lesson that is, kind of valuable to learn, and just current times is not really taught ever. And that's a shame. But yeah. What do you think about fairy tales?
Well, I mean, the modern day fairy tale of Skibbity Toilet, I think, teaches us a lot of things. Oh, Grimm's Fairy Tales. That's cool.
I saw Gwen mention it.
Yeah, Brothers Grimm. No, I think fairy tales are really interesting because, like you said, they do teach us like pretty good life lessons as children. But I think if you look at the actual implications of fairy tales and the origins of fairy tales, they're super creepy most of the time. Like they come from really like bad places, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect, but I think it's like when in terms of how do fairy tales impact society, they're life lessons that we've collectively learned as a species over thousands of years. That's effectively what they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Chinese folklore, just it's a different name. Same premise.
Yeah. And a lot of the time, like there are so many fairy tales that even though names change and circumstances change and stuff like that, they're basically almost the same across the world. Like no matter the culture, no matter the time period, like and at this point, it's hard to, I mean, without doing a lot of research, it's hard to determine why a lot of them are similar, because we're so globalized now. And we have been for like what, I don't know, like 7, 18, 300, 400 years at this point, really.
Yeah,
But
for the most part.
yeah, I mean, because globalization really started in like the 1700s. I mean, world trade and stuff has happened even way earlier than that. So cultures have always exchanged stuff, and fairy tales always come from those exchanges and trying to teach lessons to people. So I think they're super important. They're very important, but they aren't being taught now from what I've seen.
Yeah, none of the lessons. Like that's why it still makes me sad that Disney makes like these movies, and yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff to it, and you know, we gotta get these celebrities in, we gotta get all these songs in, but they do teach a lesson, and I feel like it's just the unable to understand literacy that is like media literacy, like you always talk about. It's just there's a lack of that. We don't teach that to like kids to like look at the message behind, and then parents don't at all care about the message behind.
Yeah, I mean, and there's Lord, there's so many issues that feed into that. So like it's easy to look at that and be like, oh, parents don't care, and like kids don't learn that. But like, why don't they care? I think a lot of parents now don't care because they don't have the time to, which is a way bigger issue. Like they don't have the money to, they don't have the time to. Not that I'm excusing them, and it's not a good thing. But like when you're working 3 jobs to have just an apartment with a kid, and your kid is screaming, you're probably going to throw an iPod in their hands. You know what I mean? or an iPad, sorry, which is terrible. It's all terrible. But the other part is media literacy. Even if people did start spreading fairy tales again, like in mass, if we started telling kids little fairy tales and stuff, I don't think they would get it.
Yeah. So identifying fairy tales, folklore, etc., is core to K through 3. And I remember when I did my preschool job, and that was like the first steps into it. We at least read it to them and tried to talk to them a little bit. But then again, we're talking about people under the age of kindergarten, so they're not really paying attention. There's nothing you can really do about that. Preschool is just trying to do your best. Just hope for the best.
You're just babysitting.
Yeah. But and yeah, Gwen brought up another thing I was going to talk about. Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy. I definitely do. Like the Sandman was like a German tale back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah,
like he's gonna come and scoop out your eyes, which is I want Disney to make a movie on that. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, there's a bunch of versions of Santa Claus that are so messed up, dude. Like I think that the Norse or the Swedes or the Danes, one of the Norwegian countries, has a really messed up version of Santa Claus, and he also has a black slave with him. And they still to this day in a lot of these places they'll have Santa Claus, but then or Saint Nick, but then they'll have someone in straight up blackface with them in the celebrations. It's kind of weird. It's really weird.
That's lovely.
Yeah, like Christmas stuff from other like Norwegian countries is still kind of creepy in my opinion.
Yeah, I still like Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. I think that one's German. I think.
Yeah, that is my favorite of them.
It is the best.
But yeah, I mean, I wish there was a way for us to teach better literacy in both just reading and in media. It would be quite wonderful to be able to teach kids these lessons again, somehow get them back out there to everybody. Like, I know Disney kind of tried by doing the live action, but people instead just let's look at the CGI and judge it. Yeah. Which is sad.
Well, here's the thing.
Or get mad at the actress.
Yeah, or just like rage at whoever's in it. I think that the need for fairy tales is kind of dying. Maybe not the need, but like the use of fairy tales is dying. And the reason for that, outside of like media literacy and stuff like that, is because fairy tales, like we said, were primarily used to teach life lessons as a child, like to children. Yeah. But like there are so many different avenues that parents try to do that with at this point that aren't fairy tales, that are way more direct. It's more we stopped saying, oh, if you do this thing, the boogeyman or the ooga booga will get you. And we stopped saying that because kids know, oh, that thing doesn't exist, there's no way it'll exist. Kids are more cynical now.
They could also just grab their iPad and look it up, and they'll know right away, like, oh, it's a lie.
That's what I mean. The internet has made everybody, from little kids all the way up, way more cynical, and the state of the world, to be honest. I mean, the world is going to hell in a handbasket and everybody can see it. No matter where you are, what you believe, you can see it. So I think cynicism has really eliminated fairy tales. Cynicism and like basically, well, I can't say questioning everything, but people are just more direct now than they used to be. Not as poetic as they used to be, I should say.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to bring it back. Get rid of the internet. That's it. Let's cancel the internet.
See ya.
Yep. Get Al Gore.
He made it. He can unmake it. No, but do you see that too? That people are way more like direct and forward instead of being more like poetic in terms of telling tales and stuff like that?
For the most part, I mean, you have to exclude authors from that because they're gonna usually always try to be somewhat poetic, as long as it fits their style, like the style of the story they're writing. But yeah, it's dead. The internet did absolutely kill it. It made everybody way more direct because you had Facebook and Twitter, where you just Facebook started off kind of decent. It was kind of weird because people were just saying like, "Hey, this is what I ate for lunch today," and that got old really quick. But then Twitter came around, and this was like years after Facebook, and it started doing this new thing of like, hey, this is what I ate for lunch today. And that was a pretty cool new movement, never seen before. But then it just became a place to sit there and just always speak your mind 24/7. Just keep posting, speaking your mind.
Yep. Well, it's a soapbox for everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone has a soapbox. So, I mean, even us, like we're sitting here talking to whoever wants to watch us, you know what I mean? Like this, what we're doing right now was impossible like 30 years ago. And I think that texting and IMing and videos and even phones, like the way we talk on phones, has radically changed generalized communication. Not just like we have new tools to communicate, but the way we communicate has totally changed. And I think that's partially responsible for the death of fairy tales today.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes sense. So we gotta drop a giant EMP and just reset the world.
I'm there for it, dude. Like straight up, let's go back to return to monkey. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
I mean, first we're gonna binge watch Revolution so we know what to do and what to prepare for.
Well, I mean, you can watch. I'm a hawk, so I'll just fly around and watch the show. But like, you guys can return to monkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll be fantastic.
No, I don't know. That's my thought on why fairy tales don't have as much of an impact on society, at least the way they used to. Because it's weird, because we don't actively tell fairy tales at this point, outside of Disney and stuff. But like you said, people just don't focus on the fairy tale. But we tell scary stories now more than we did before. I think the internet has also facilitated that we do more horror stuff and try to do some life lesson stuff from horror or just general creepy stories. And then we also have, like, actually, this just occurred to me. Why do you need fairy tales when you have such an interconnected world where any story with any lesson is instantly accessible from anywhere because of the internet?
Well, yeah, we should have them more popular on the internet.
We should, but like, the point of the fairy tale is to teach a life lesson, when instead you could watch someone's video, or you could like see that so-and-so did some stupid thing. So, I'm not going to do that anymore. It's kind of more, we're more direct. We have access to everybody's stories. So we don't need to create our weird fantasy stories to try and teach life lessons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't feel like 99% of the people who watch a video take a single thing from it. And if they do, it's for like half a second and then it's gone.
Well, that's the other part is like most people are just too stupid at this point.
Yeah. It's like, we can watch the news. You can watch, like, go back and watch any news channel that's on YouTube and just go back like several months. And it's just like, oh yeah, you remember that happened?
Yeah.
And it was big at the moment, but yeah, 10 seconds later, doesn't matter.
Well, dude, you want to talk about that kind of stuff. Think about 9/11. Think about 9/11. You and I saw 9/11 happen consciously.
Yeah.
We knew we were being attacked. We were very young, but we knew we were being attacked. We knew some crazy stuff was going down. We knew people were dying, and it did traumatize a whole generation. I mean, it messed us up in subtle ways. But we watched that happen. There are people who are 18 and older who straight up, they think it's like a historical event. They don't even think about it. They, like, when they hear 9/11, they're like, oh, I heard about that once in class in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we even major events just don't have the same impact. And also because every day is a new major event lately.
Yeah. Well, I've also noticed people, at least younger generations than us, don't like anything older than them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been hearing a lot of people who are younger talk about retro consoles, and like some do have like respect for it because it led to the newer stuff, but it's more of a look of like, yeah, that's old, I'm not going to play it. It could be the best game ever, I'm not going to play it, it's old. It doesn't look pretty.
That I have a theory about that, but it's way too long and I'm not going to get into it here because it'd be like 5 hours. Like straight up, it'd be like, we'd be here for probably more than 5 hours, to be honest. But the shortest way I could put this is, okay, I believe that even that is the byproduct of retirement homes. So
I can see that.
Retirement homes were created, and they created generational divides because before retirement homes, and I'm going to do this as quick as I can, before retirement homes, you had to actually treat your children with respect, and your children had to treat you with respect. And then you had to treat, everybody had to treat everybody with respect. And you had more generational homes because when your parents got old, they were banking on you to take care of them. So they wanted to take care of you when you were young. That ended with retirement homes.
Yeah.
And it created generational divides. And then social media put a wedge between those divides and just hammered it in, man. Hammered it in. And so now we're here where you have kids who just like anything that's not the newest, greatest thing. Oh, it's stupid. It's bad. I don't want it. But that's where that comes from. I think that's my theory.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think, another casualty of that is probably fairy tales.
Yeah. That would make sense. Tie it all together because it is from older generations. Yeah. Like they're probably going to be dead with our generation. That'll be it. Unless like we teach our kids, there's a chance that some might stick around with it, but it's just going to thin out every year, every generation.
It's going to be like, I don't know, like a weird, obscure stuff now, like history. Again, we have to mention Marvel and history every episode. Yes. I love history, but like there's so many things from history that aren't wars, that aren't big kings and queens and stuff like that are so obscure you've got to really dig to find them. People are out here that still find that stuff. I'm one of them. I know some of them. Like there are people that like that exist. I think fairy tales are going to take up that kind of spot in the future. Like there will still be people who know about them and look into them, but it's going to be adults who are interested in looking at the past more so than learning them as kids.
Just very niche.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about things that will probably get old, I got something for you to do. Especially for you. Hope you're excited.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
So I don't know if that's big enough. That's as big as I can make it.
It's big. It's good.
Okay. Disney princess movie tier list, since they're basically all, or majority of them are based on fairy tales. It's close enough to be in all of them. I don't know if the later ones are here. They have Snow White twice, so I have it at the beginning and the end, which I don't know why it's there twice. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this. And if you don't know the movie or know enough about it, then we can go ahead and skip it. Like I have no clue what this one is. I've never seen it before in my life.
Raya. Oh
what?
no! Oh, I've seen Raya, dude. Oh man. I'll hold off.
I want to know why it looks like there's a number 3 on the image.
It's a dragon.
Oh, okay. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Beauty and the Beast. Where would you put it on its? We're going to be ranking this on how influential it is to society, like its message, like how important its message is.
Okay. For Beauty and the Beast, I'd put it at like a B. I think it's widely known, but like nobody listens to it. Yeah. So like it's a great message, like a really good message, especially in a society that cares mostly about looks. But I would put it at a solid B because while everybody knows about it, nobody really listens to it. So,
all right, and then let's go on to Snow White.
I'd say C, probably. I think. I don't know. What do you think about that one?
I mean, I like the story, like just the story itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, for placement, it's probably a C. Nobody's going to listen to it. Nobody listens to anything.
They should all be F.
Yeah. But yeah, C is probably the fairest. I wouldn't put it below that.
The
fairest
it's the
fairest of them all.
Yeah. No, I like the story too, but yeah, I think it's especially now. It's like I feel like the impact of a lot of these is lessened greatly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does
I can
it
see
even
that.
have a moral? Does Snow White even have a moral? That's a good question.
I mean,
don't trust your step-parents?
Yeah. Don't trust anybody older than you, kids. I always took it as acceptance because really the 7 dwarves are freaks.
Yeah.
It's her showing like she's an accepting person. Meanwhile, the stepmother is not. She doesn't accept herself and she doesn't accept others. She doesn't accept her own stepdaughter.
Yeah. And try not to be caught up in misery. And like to basically like, don't be vain, buck the rules that are actually morally bad. Like it's got a couple, it's not like it's got one single, like Beauty and the Beast, like don't judge a book by its cover. It doesn't have a single thing like that, but I think it has a couple smaller lessons through it.
Yeah. Acceptance is just the one that stood out to me the most. And then vanity is definitely one.
Yeah. I think acceptance stands out the most for that one.
And then I have no clue what Little Mermaids is, so I'll let you tell me what that is, and then we'll put it in a place.
Well, it's about a mermaid.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I think it's don't be dumb, to be honest. That's what I take from it, is don't be dumb, don't be gullible.
Maybe I could see that, but honestly, I think Little Mermaid is just like kid eye candy, like just a visual feast. You know what I mean? It's just like a cool and visual and audio feast because it's got singing and stuff in it. So I mean, I'd put it at D. Like it's everybody knows it, but it doesn't say much, you know?
Yeah. And then Aladdin, be yourself.
A. I'd put that at A. Because I feel like a lot of people do actually listen to Aladdin, or at least like consider it.
Yeah.
And like don't lie and be careful what you wish for. Like that's those two things are they permeate our culture even without Aladdin. So yeah, I'd put that in A.
Sleeping Beauty. It's been so long since I actually watched the movie.
Sleeping Beauty is pretty messed up, to be honest. Like morally, it's kind of messed up now. Anyway, I mean, when it was made, it was like acceptable.
What? You don't walk up to random people to sleep into the forest and start kissing them?
No, I don't.
Oh, she might be dead. It's time to make out.
Yeah. Well, oh boy, no. I would put Sleeping Beauty at F. Definitely a solid F for that one, in my opinion.
Well, hey, don't kiss dead bodies. That's like a super S tier right there.
Well, if we're taking that from it, then yeah, S. Yeah, S would be.
There we go.
Don't kiss dead or sleeping girls. There you go.
Yeah.
What's next?
Cinderella.
I mean, probably
Don't put
another
out mice
C?
traps because mice are awesome.
Yeah, like another C or D, maybe I'd say. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's up there with Snow White. It does have multiple. It's another one. Don't trust anybody older than you. Don't trust your siblings. As for her, I mean, it's another acceptance one. She needs to accept to be who she is. She didn't get the guy because she's all done up.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Which I think it's kind of gray today in the year of our Lord 2024.
Yeah.
I think this is another gray one, but I'd put it at C.
Pocahontas, don't trust the white man.
F. Pocahontas is inarguably an F all the way. Like everything about the story of Pocahontas is disgusting to me, to be honest. Like it's bad. So F for sure.
So we're just gonna focus on the movie for this one, since Rapunzel, because Rapunzel's the one that had the leprechaun dude. But it was the leprechaun dude, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I just know she had long hair and had a tower.
Yeah, she had to put it down to let the prince in. Okay, we're gonna put it on C as well. It reminds me of Brave, and Brave's gonna have to be placed higher. But yeah, it's another one. Don't trust your elders. It's a great message in a lot of Disney movies. Don't trust adults.
I think it's more like don't implicitly trust them. Like just because they're your parent or just because they're an adult doesn't mean that they're always right. And I think that's a good lesson, but not many people listen to it.
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. Thank you. That was killing me. Yeah, that's a completely different story. I just knew it had something to do with gold, but yeah, the chick in that one sewed gold.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I mean, I know of Rumpelstiltskin, but I don't know it.
Yeah. And then Mulan.
I'd put that in S, honestly. I'd put that in S because there's a couple lessons from it. I think the biggest one would be like, don't be told you can't do something because of something that you are. So like if you're a woman or if you're trans, or I mean, that applies now, trans or whatever, like whatever you are, even outside of women, if you look a certain way or if you present a certain way, don't be told that you can't do something just because of that. I think that's a great lesson.
Yep.
And I think it's to listen to.
Where are you going to put Brave?
I'm going to put it probably
S+.
I mean, I don't remember the lesson from it. I remember the movie, but what was the lesson for Brave? Because I know I loved the movie.
Really, it's almost the same as Mulan in essence.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's this chick and she's like a good archer. Okay, yeah, S. I'd put that at S.
Yep.
Brave is an S.
Yep. And then here's ones I haven't seen. So there's Moana.
I have not seen Moana. I've seen clips of it. It's got The Rock, so I hate it. Yeah.
So we'll skip that and we'll go to Raya, whatever that is. The dragon one.
Raya. That's an S tier. That is my favorite Disney movie. It was unexpected, came out of left field. I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it, including you. It's a serious tearjerker at the end. Like it's a great movie. It's not like a solid single lesson, if I remember right from it, though. It's more of like, well, no, I guess the single lesson would be trust and teamwork. Trust the people that you may not implicitly want or inherently want to trust, like someone who maybe has wronged you before, or someone who may be your enemy. Maybe there's something there that could unite you. That's effectively what I would take away from that movie, first and foremost. But there's a couple things from it. I would put that at an S tier personally.
Awesome. What about Princess and the Frog? I don't know if you read the story or ever heard the story or watched this movie.
Is that the one that takes place down in the bayou in Louisiana? Yep. Yes, dude. S tier, 100%.
Yep.
I love that
And then we
movie.
put Snow White on there again because that was just why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that's it. I think that's good.
Yeah, it gave us an F. Good job.
Yeah, do you have an argument for Pocahontas outside of an F? Like,
No, I mean it's a cute little story just as a story, like, or at least as the movie. It's a cute little story.
okay,
But the way it partially accurately shows some history with white man bad, because besides this guy, white man was bad.
yeah, no, a white man pretty bad for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even that guy, I mean, he's presented as good in the movie, but like, if you really look at what he did, it's pretty messed up. Like,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So,
But he can be forgiven because she likes him.
oh yeah, no, it's all okay. It's okay. I mean, if you're like coerced into liking somebody that has a power dynamic over you and everything, it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
If you're just like abducted from your home, you know, and you happen to have like a Pavlovian, you know, what's the response where you're like beaten but you still stick with the person? I forget the name of it.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, you have like Stockholm syndrome, you know. That's okay if you like the person, you know.
Yeah. All right, so we got two things to get through. Let's first talk about the movie we watched, since it's related kind of to that list we just did.
Yes.
Once I get this up, because I forgot to do that. There we go. So we watched Snow White, A Tale of Terror. Yep. Now, it says it's a horror fantasy. First thing I want to mention is this is not a horror. If you find this scary, then goodness, that's sad.
You're probably pretty young or very, very like unfamiliar with the world. Sheltered, let's say.
Yeah, this is it is a darker look at Snow White. It's more of how I would kind of imagine it, since the Disney one is a little too bright and cheery for me. I like the way they stuck to the darkness. Can't say many good things about it. It has decent acting in it. This guy was in a couple movies and TV shows. He was big in Ally Bill.
Yeah.
I know this name, but I have no clue what I know it from. Sam Neill, which is what's his face?
Dr. Grant. Yeah.
And then we have
Ripley.
Yep. The alien lady.
Ripley, yep.
It was a movie. I mean, I wish it was a little more horror-esque.
Yeah.
It to me, it just drug on. It overstayed its welcome at 44 minutes. I had to check it and be like, I am almost done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't it like an hour and a half or like an hour and 40 minutes?
Yeah, a little over out. Yeah, 141.
Yeah, well, there we go, 141. It did overstay its welcome. I think there were so many scenes that could have been cut down or just totally wiped.
Yeah.
I think all of the actors and actresses in the movie, with the exception of Sam Neill, because he's always perfect, every actor and actress in the movie brought nothing to the table for about 70% of the movie. Deadpan, totally no emotions in the face, no emotions in the voice, just terrible acting. But then the other 20% of the time, they were doing almost too much, in my opinion. Yeah. And I think I do like the darker take on it, because Snow White is an inherently pretty dark story. Like if at least in my opinion, when you look at it, not like
trying to kill your kids is fine.
That's like
bright and cheery.
It's a great facility for a really dark telling of it. I just don't think this was it. I think they tried, but maybe because of like studio restrictions or something, they couldn't go as dark as they wanted to. I don't know, but
yeah, it's before R was pushed to a further level, because R has gotten significantly more open over the years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, back in the 90s, it was still pretty scandalous to have R.
Yeah, and I mean the opening of the movie is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty crazy, but and there's some elements of it that are like creepy at best. Like especially the end with the fight with the Sigourney Weaver's character, Lady Claudia.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It was kind of creepy. The vibes were creepy. The lighting was good. It has good elements, but I just think it overstayed its welcome, and overall, it turned out to be a meh movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Not as good as I hoped.
Yeah, and there was the weird stuff in there. Like there's things that I don't remember from any telling that didn't really need to be in there. Like some of the things the Sigourney Weaver's character did was cool, like the moving of the trees and whatnot. That was an interesting thing to do. The dancing while she was doing it, and that part was weird.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it just like it drug out that scene for it needed to be. It'd be kind of cooler if everything was happening much faster. I almost wanted to turn up the speed just to get through it, because given it's cool, it's still just like, okay, you're going from cool to not cool to not cool.
I legit thought about speeding it up too, and I never do that. But
Yeah.
I like the magic stuff that she did. That was pretty cool. That was cool stuff. You know what this felt like? I just thought about this. This to me felt like a very long and exceptionally bad episode of the show Merlin.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah, it was a broke man's Merlin.
Yeah. It was a bad, long, broke man's Merlin episode. That's what this was. Just without Merlin or King Arthur.
Yeah. Yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 55%, and IMDb gave it 6.1.
I'd give it a 55. I like straight down the middle. It was a movie.
Yeah. That's 5 points too high. Solid 50.
Just a 50.
It was direct middle of the road.
I'm not going to argue with that. I think I like that. I could also take that. Like 50 to 55. That's where I'd put it.
Well, let's see. It had a budget of 26 to 30 million.
That's not a lot. Like for the time, that's not that much.
We can't see how much it made.
That info is probably buried somewhere, man.
It grossed
35,000.
Ooh.
What? Oh wait, no, 35,181 in the non-US film market. Okay, that's still terrible, dude. Yeah, what are we looking at for the growth? Oh wait, I think it said it up at the top in the. Oh, budget was 26 million. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to find it.
Market. Damn, dude. I'm gonna guess it probably did not break even. That's my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad that we can't find that.
Yeah, they didn't really keep that info down for people back then, you know?
Yeah.
Because movie nerds weren't like info nerds like we are today.
Yep. Yep, we got to know everything.
And it wasn't a selling point.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. What is this? Oh. Okay. Yeah. So we got one thing left to do. Our favorite thing.
Yep.
And again, you have the honors because I can't read. Reading's hard.
Reading is very hard. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Share entire screen. Is this working?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
You could see? Okay. Okay. All right. So what we've got here is another SCP thing, but this one is different, let's say. We didn't really read deep into this. We just kind of skimmed over it, but we got this special launch page here. By order of Overwatch Command, this file has been cleared for access by all personnel. Readers are compelled to consume the following sacrament before we get into it. So let's read this sacrament. All right. I am the blade. I am the shield. I am the arm that shall not yield. In tempest I stand fast. In legend I will last. I will not fade. I am the wand, I am the flame, I am the rod for truths untamed. In knowledge I will trust. Invoked I burn the dust. I will not fade. I am the knife, I am the shade, I am the hunter, not the prey. In whispers I have tread, by infamy I spread. I will not fade. I am the right, I am the scales, I am the patience which prevails. In honor I abide, with faith I turn the tide. I will not fade. We the centuries, we the wall, we the final card to fall. Through toil we shall gain, through blood we shall remain. We will not fail. So strap in, buckos. Let's now we got that out of the way. Let's stay fast and proceed. All right. So what do we got here? We got item SCP-6500. I'll just call it 6500. Level 01, unrestricted. Do you know what that means?
No clue.
I have no, yeah, we should probably research this, but no, we're not professionals. Event class finis, whatever that means. This looks like an omega symbol, so maybe this is like some end times kind of stuff. Disruption class Amida. Again, this SCP stuff is kind of confusing. Someone's going to know what that means, but I'm not one of them. Special containment procedure. Actually, no. Before we get into special containment, let's go into the description. Okay.
Yeah.
The description is SCP-6500 is a process of entropy exclusively targeting the anomalous. So it's more of like it's an act, I guess, or like a process. This primarily affects, but is in no way limited to, various forms of magic. We talked about this word last time. I'm not saying that it's magic. Yeah, colloquially known as magic. There we go. Whatever that is, you have fun pronouncing that. SCP-6500 is responsible for over 1,500 neutralizations of anomalous persons, items, areas, and phenomena over the past decade. SCP-6500 takes many forms, for example, a process of accelerated senescence in organic anomalies. I think that might be like evolution or something. I don't know. Including those heretofore, great word, considered immortal. Objects which are foreign to baseline reality, whether it be through temporal displacement or transference from alternate or higher planes of existence, have either faded to the point of intangibility before complete non-existence, or suffered violent structural collapse due to the incongruity with our physical laws. So from what I gather there, and I can be kind of stupid, especially now that I'm exhausted, is that it just like breaks things.
Yeah, breaks it down.
It just breaks things. So physical laws don't work anymore. So I guess like maybe it'd be like, I don't know, like the Star Trek transporter, but you do die when you go into it.
Yeah.
Since its formal recognition and study, it has been determined that SCP-6500 has hastened by containment, or is hastened by containment efforts. So trying to contain it will just make it worse. That's why it's uncontained. That makes sense. Without intervention, the complete neutralization of all known and undiscovered anomalies is predicted to occur within a 5-year period, irrevocably altering the state of the universe and rendering our organization obsolete. So it's just going to kill the world, effectively.
Nice.
Well, kill the universe. So, like, what is it, though?
It's
just magic? That's what I'm like.
I'm assuming it's just like some little floating cloud thing, floating cloud of death.
But that's the thing. Like, is it a thing that moves around, or is it more like a force of nature, like the wind? It sounds like it's almost more like the wind, but it just breaks stuff down.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go back up here. So special containment procedures. It said that they don't want to contain it. It says it's uncontained or unrestricted. But let's see what this says. Each site is to review its contaminated records and determine which anomalies under their purview would cause negligible harm to humanity or widespread knowledge of the anomalous. These items are to be disintegrated, not or designate. Wow, I can't read. These objects are to be designated non-disruptive anomalies, and their containment will be discontinued or reduced to simple observation. Operationally, this shall include, but is not limited to, the following measures. Humanoid anomalies with a record for cooperative behavior are to be injected or fitted with tracking devices if their biology / anomaly allows for such measures, and released. Each may be provided with a new identity on a so wait, this is like containment stuff. That's general containment stuff. This is not like, yeah.
I would say that protocol Sixth Son is probably more important.
Yeah, so here I'll get into that right after. It looks like they mentioned this here. So, following a meeting of the departments of tactical theology, that sounds cool. Applied magic, not going to read it. Applied magic, and invocational pataphysics. Pataphysics. Do you know what that is?
No clue.
I have no, dude. Good Lord, dude. It has been determined that all operations involving SCP-6500 must contain elements of esoterica, up to and including documentation, the code of which is to be lined with protective wards where possible. So you straight up just need like a mage to contain this thing. If you, well, not even contain it, but just categorize it, or catalog it, I guess.
Yeah.
Determine that all operations involving it. So anything that they do, it sounds like they're going to try and not touch it. So Protocol 6 Son. Let's get into that. All special missions paths undertaken in the pursuit of counteracting or neutralizing SCP-6500 are to incorporate ritualistic aspects as to not upset the integrity of the sought items. SCP-6500, Alpha. So like something that it's affecting in the moment, or risk said items corruption due to SCP-6500's influence. Personnel accessing Protocol 6 Son materials should expect drastically atypical presentation formats as a necessary side effect of these rituals, and of the magical mechanisms protecting their contents. Are you getting this?
Not really. I thought it was going to be more interesting than that. There's Origin down lower. Yeah, you're on it.
Yeah, Origin here. So, but before that, what I'm gathering so far is that basically this thing, one, cannot be contained. I don't think it is a thing like the way we think of things. It's more like the wind, or like, I don't know, waking up and wanting to go back to sleep, like that feeling. It's like, it's something that you can't, it's not a physical corporeal thing, I think. It's just more of something that happens. And the origin here though SCP-6500 is a relatively recent development. And see, that brief aside, that wording, development, it's a thing that happens, I think. The possibility of such a phenomena occurring has been posited in the past by various religious and occult groups and individuals. Within the Wanderer's Library, SCP-6500 is known as, quote, Capactules Feast? Capactules? I don't know. Yeah, it's there. Or simply, quote, the Impasse. That's better. The Impasse. An event which is prophesied to herald the, quote, final occult war. The earliest attestation thought to refer to SCP-6500, to the phenomena that is SCP-6500, was recorded by an unknown scholar in a collection of Sarkic scripture. It is a mythicized retelling of the Grand Karkists or Karsists Ion's felling of the Davite city of Cursed. No idea what that means.
Yeah, no clue either.
Sorcerer. So what I'm gathering again so far is that confirms that it is a phenomena. It's not like a being or anything. It's something that happens. Some religious groups think it's the herald of some kind of war, and it's been referenced probably since the beginning of time. I assume this Sarkic scripture is a real thing. Did you look that up?
No, I was up above. There was a picture of something that was all burned, and it was the effect of what 6500 had on a different SCP. So I clicked on to see what that SCP is. And yeah, you can't talk about it, think about it, write about it, or it'll show up and kill you. So,
here we go. I found something on sarcasm. I think it's sarcasm. I think it's a totally fake SCP thing. It's derived from the Greek word, not going to pronounce it, or quote, the flesh. It's a religious / philosophical system that encompasses a variety of traditions, beliefs, and spiritual practices, largely based on teachings attributed to Grand Karcist Ion. Its defied founder. Some adherents practice ritual cannibalism, human sacrifice, primarily recorded among neo-sarkic sects, corporeal augmentation, magic, dimensional manipulation. So it's a group of like cannibal mages, effectively.
Nice.
So this thing
Good
is the
people.
herald of, oh yeah, they're great guys, you know, wonderful guys. I know mages. They're wonderful mages, great mages. You know, the mages love me, you know?
So we're going to do another quick one. It's super quick too. On that picture, there's the SCP's name right below it.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, what the hell? What? What am I looking? What?
Basically, don't talk about it, think about it, write about it, save anything on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some sort of document you can do on it. I don't know what that means, but you can't show it to certain people, but you can show it to others.
This is great.
It's taller than a human. If you scroll down some.
Yeah, it's bigger than a human, has tentacly kind of hands.
It can't be contained.
It goes through walls, I assume. What is this?
I don't know. I guess show no sign of it.
It can't come after you. It won't target you if you're not thinking about it, whatever it is. And because we don't know its name or actual origin, or even we don't even know what it looks like. I mean, I guess that might be a picture of it. But we don't even know anything about it. So it says I for info. So we have to know specific things about it for it to target us. So that's why we have pictures.
Yeah.
What is this one? Looking at a sign. It's in the darkness. When you see it, it wants you.
Yeah.
You turn on the lights and it goes away?
Yeah, as long as you get the lights on before it gets you.
Okay. What is it doing with the paper? It mentions
he was writing about it.
Oh, and then he's writing about it. It has its hands on the thing that he's writing. It takes information about itself.
Yeah.
Okay. What have we got here? Just chilling, looking at the other stuff. Someone tells him to do something.
He read info on it out loud, I'm assuming.
Talked about it.
Yeah. Repeated the information and he got.
Okay, so if you write it down, it just takes whatever you wrote and leaves you alone. But if you talk about it, you are whatever, like you are the thing you wrote on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes you. Okay, this is cool. This is really cool. I like this. And we don't even know what it is.
Yep.
And then what the K? What does that mean again? It's like the object class, I think.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Keter, isn't that it?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or Keter, like it's the class of it.
Or it's a lock by a company with K. Master key. Or Master lock, whatever it's called.
Master lock. Yeah, dude, that's it.
It just takes another Master lock in order to open it.
Well, yeah. No, this is Master lock, actually. That's what this is. No. But yeah, both of those are actually pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
I like both.
Not bad.
Wait, okay, Vosh. Wait, who's Vosh? I mean, which one of why am I Vosh? Should I say my guy?
No clue. I just feel like saying it's you.
My dude, my guy. The material conditions aren't right for us to start a revolution, my dude.
Yep.
but the material conditions are right to end the show.
Yep, absolutely. So we have some videos coming out. There's going to be, like always, a video on Monday. Hawk's got that one.
Yeah, I'm going to do a list video on Monday about
lists.
Sorry. Gwen mentioned not reading because I don't know if you're up on Vosh, but I hate watching him sometimes. And he said that nobody reads my guy because he's insecure about the fact that he doesn't read. So
yeah, I can't read. I'm just incapable of it.
my dude, nobody reads. Everybody reads. No, my guy, I'm right.
That's why even those articles, I don't read them. I read them earlier, but yeah, on here I just can't read them. I need my glasses, and I don't feel like walking upstairs ever.
No, it's like reading in your head is totally different from reading out loud. Like I'm really slow with reading in my head because I like try to soak up as much info as possible. But when I read out loud, I tend to be faster. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we got vids coming. List video. I'm doing a list video on Assassin's Creed because I've been playing it lately and don't have much time for anything else. It's going to be a tier list video on just the games in general. Which games are in my opinion, are the best.
Awesome. I gotta see what mine was.
Yeah, what was yours?
Oh yeah, I'm doing one on Dragon Quest. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Hopefully it's a pretty long one. I think it's going to be about 13 minutes roughly.
Yeah, that's on the longer scale for our videos so far.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. It's going to go over a little bit of the history and then why I love them.
Yeah, I want to play him. I do want to play him. I still have yet to really play him.
Yeah. I also talk about some remakes and whatnot and all the systems, and I still got a little bit more to add to it. Just realized I forgot like a couple paragraphs. Anyways.
That's all right.
Yep. It'll be made. It'll be out on Thursday. I still got plenty of time. But yeah, so that was fun. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care.
Stay safe.